Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Eric Kizito from Kisumu County. Well, today I have a small take on Kisumu, and residents of Kisumu County were made to believe that His Excellency Governor Peter Anyang' Nyong'o could have been the best for the Kisumu County. With his vast academic credentials, the professor who helped draft the Kenya's Vision 2030 dream when he was the Minister for National Planning has given the electorate a bouncing check. A year gone by since he was inaugurated into office, there are no signs that his campaign promises will be realized. His scorecard can only be documented in environment, for he is vigorously cleaning the once eyesore dump site of Kachok. Jackson Adera, one of the great Kisumu intellectuals, insisted that when we had a discussion with him last week, that to understand the contemporary Kisumu, we must turn to its agricultural past and see the stamp of legacy of that era on the present. The people of the up-country of Kano, Seme, Nyakach, has little story to tell of the continent respected professor. The county recorded development around the Maram Road, schools and market lightenings that were done by his predecessor, Governor Jackson Ranguma. Kisumu County, as reported by economic pundits and agriculturalists, has the potential to feed the whole population of Nyanza. The fertile soil of Kano can produce good sugarcane, rice, as it has been witnessed, watermelon, pumpkin, skumawiki, maize, millet, sorghum, green grams, kale, arrowroot, cassava, etc. As a young boy, I saw sugarcane production in the areas of Kochogo, Ogenya, Apondo, Kemiro, and many other areas. The rice paddy of West Kano irrigation scheme started as a sugarcane scheme. Actually, it was sugarcane that was grown in that place. Evidence is a sugarcane factory standing defiantly beside the scheme, not far from Nduru Secondary School, on your way to Nduru Beach, indicating that some smoke could bellow out soon. Stories have been documented about the death of sugarcane production in the western part of the country, and it is worth noting that the most affected is Kisumu County, where we have Chemelil, Muroni, Miwani, Kibos, sugarcane factories, among others, all in Kano, Kisumu County. Residents today are telling stories of pain and suffering that has been orchestrated by the people they thought could offer leadership and knowledge into the sector. Bring politicians into this, they are just there. The other time we saw them in news, waggling their tails like the village dogs that barks and cannot bite, making the loudest noise but no action in sight. They only think of fattening their accounts with the development fund, take over constituency development fund and other kitties. Yes, our politicians are just there to be seen on television screens, claiming to be the foot soldier of Raila Amolo Odinga. The nearer they are to Baba, it's a sure guarantee that they'll get the positions they want. Back to the Messiah that he was during the campaign, Baba Lupita has not either win the height of electorate nor it is lieutenant. Even gods are angry. Rain come, destroy crops, kills animals, displaced people, and go. It's a story of every season. Walk into the vast land of Kano, no dams to harvest the raging water, no good channels to direct water into the lake, and worse still, no good canals to direct water into the rice field. Kisumu farmers have turned into outgrowers, growing rice for subsistence. No government seeds and fertilizers buying points. Worse still, no government subsidies to farmer. The picture of the once vibrant schemes are not even welcoming. Go to Aero irrigation scheme and West Kano irrigation scheme. they look like battlefields. The determined farmers of Kisumu County lack leadership and support. They lack farm machines, and even after the little harvest, market is hurting and prices are terrorizing. Last year, I met a group of well-dressed men in fuel gasless cars crisscrossing the rice field beyond Nyang'ande market with notebooks in the pretext that they were doing research. The research must have been allocated a good money from the county account. Well, that might have been a good starting point for the professor's leadership. The new rice variety introduced for research at Nyang'ande rice field did quite well, and that was the start and the end of it all. No extension that was made beyond that scheme, even when farmers got knowledge of the new rice variety. The seed brought at sub-county stores were inadequate, and farmers went back to their usual varieties. If Professor would be remembered for one thing, I think it will be certainly be for the cleanliness of Kisumu city. Forget the shakra, his volumetric vocabularies, the real identity of Baba Lupita Nyong'o, the professor of our time. The good news is that it's still not too late. By supporting and strengthening the capacity of agricultural activities, the key sector in the county, where Kisumu can make a significant progress in bettering the economy of the lakeside region. Through farming, Kisumu has the possibility of turning the bad news into good news, but in order to do so, agriculture that carries the burden of meeting a huge economic empowerment of the people and for the county need to be given first priority in the professor's leadership. Farmers need to be involved in planning and decision making to coherent and effective farming. Farmers who live in the communities he serves, who know what is needed to improve farming, and who put themselves on the task every farming day need to have access to training in the best agricultural practices. Oh, Professor, Kisumu County can be county number 1 in the Republic of Kenya. Kisumu has resources. All the resources. We have water. We have Lake Victoria. This water, during drought, it can be pumped upstream to do irrigation in Nyakach, Kano, Seme, and other places in Kisumu County. If the residents of Kisumu can be turned into farmers throughout, even during drought, with the good amount of water we have from the lake, Kisumu city can be number 1 in the country, and it can be recognized all over Africa for its economic activities. Research has been done on the soil, and it was found that almost all crops can do well in Kisumu County. Example bounds. We have sugarcane, as I mentioned, rice, watermelon, and many others can do well in this region. What is required is only leadership and funding. The many billions that you get from the national government have a big percentage channeled into agriculture. I remember as a young boy when agriculture was doing well, when our irrigation scheme was actually working, West Kano irrigation scheme, there was adequate food for the people to eat, even when there was no money, but there was food in the store. There was rice and other crop varieties. People were eating, people were healthy. But today farmers struggle to put food on the table. Yet we still have vast land for agriculture in Kisumu County. We have irrigation scheme. They are just lying idle. No activities. Professor, talk with even the international communities, donors, to bring in fund into this irrigation scheme. Remember, if you work on these irrigation schemes, that's the good legacy that you leave in Kisumu County. Not your vocabularies and your degrees, academic credentials, or your support to the party leader. Go back to work. Sit down and recruit good people to help you do this. Not the bureaucrats and the cartels that have joined your government. When we were voting you in, we thought that you are the messiah to transform Kisumu. Now you have turned to something different. You have been put into a box. You cannot even reason the reason for you. They tell you, we want to do this project, you give money, no project is done. What we are seeing are only maram roads that were done by Rangoma, and schools and ECD center that were constructed by Rangoma. But for your government, we are only seeing cleaning in Kisumu City. The other time, it was reported that Kisumu is number one in cleanliness, but not number one in putting food for the people to eat. The most important thing is food. The most important thing is food, not other thing that you are focusing on. Professor, we want to remember you now and forever. Do a good job. Thank you very much. I'm Rick Kizito from Kisumu County, Kanokabonyo. I hope you get this and you will act on it accordingly.